Okay, so I just got done watching Mortal Kombat, the 2021 edition on HBO Max because I have no theaters anymore. There's no theaters anymore, so I'll watch it when it comes out on home video. Anyways, uh, first thing out of the gate right here, I want to say is I mean, if you're going into Mortal Kombat expecting like the top-notch story. I mean, I don't know what you're really here for, man. Like, what are you expecting? Like, are you expecting, like a Chris Nolan style movie from directing stance? Like, I mean, there's things in it that can be better, 100%. And there are some cheeseball lines and cheeseball moments they toss in. But I feel like overall, pretty faithful to a lot of things. I mean, they added some things in for flair, but I mean, it is what it is. Like the thing is, most video games, movies, they already know that we're going to watch them. You know what I mean? Like, they already know that the core audience is going to go watch it. So a lot of times they don't even really try to target us anymore. They kind of make it, they take this concept and they have like a broad thing. Then they just like ditch a lot of things that were actually good about the stories that we know. And they try to put their own thing. And it doesn't work hardly ever, right? It's just the way it is. Like, then they just make a mediocre movie because they make a movie that's not for us. They make a movie that's like catered towards audiences, but they try to go off a set point that was made in the video games a little bit. You know what I mean? Like a framework. It just doesn't work ever. Like, it just doesn't ever work. So what I want to say is this is a kung fu movie, man. And honestly, I haven't had like just a straight up kung fu movie I've watched in a long time. And I do feel like they kind of shy away from some of the fights a little bit. And what I mean by that is like, I don't know, not shy, that's the wrong word. I don't know. I feel like things are slow, but it's like how fast humans would actually move. You know what I mean? Like when they're fighting, like they can speed up a little bit. Like there's some scenes that are like, there's a lot more dynamic than the close quarters combat. You know what I mean? Like this whole real close, like it kind of looks clunky. I mean, I can see things happening, right? But it's like, it just looks like I'm standing here, like barely moving. Like it's a little pet peeve, right? You know what I mean? I think the characters in this, so let me not too many spoilers right here. Let's hold off on the characters. I'll just talk about the plot. I mean, I don't know. Shang Tsung being a dickbag, trying to win without having Mortal Kombat, and then I don't think they actually had Mortal Kombat. This first movie, there's not a tournament. It's before the tournament. I think it's still before the tournament. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think it's still before the tournament, like after all is said and done. So, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't know where the story goes there. I think we're going into the tournament now, is after this movie. That's what I think. But I think I've had to give it like a rating. Like overall, like, oh, is this the best movie I've ever seen? Like I'm not even throwing it in the same category of like a 1 to 10. I'm thinking, me going in and watching Mortal Kombat, what did I want? What did I get? And I say like a 7? A 7.5 out of 10 if I'm like, hey, there's a Mortal Kombat movie, what do you want? I'm like, I got a good bit of it. I will say, for sure, and this is not a spoiler because it's in the trailers, Sub-Zero versus Scorpion fight's pretty damn good. Pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. And one thing I did not expect on this movie is that my favorite character in the whole movie was Kano. He works really good as comedic relief, and yeah, maybe it's on a little thick for some people, but I feel like Kano would actually say most of the stuff he's saying and doing in this. They kind of take some characters and swap around their allegiances in a way. Kind of, sort of. But it's not that big of a deal to me. Like some people, they want it to be exactly the way it was in the games or whatever. And it's just not the way it is, man. Like you have to let some of these preconceived notions go away. That's what I've really noticed, especially like posting some other videos about other franchises. It's just like the comments, like people, they are like a rock and they will not move from any point in their mind. There's no flexibility. In my mind, if you're like that, don't even watch the movie. Like, if you're so hard-headed you won't give anybody any creative freedoms at all in any way, and you already know which way you want it to be, then sit at home. Sit at home and type out the way you want it to be and just absorb that. Because that's not the way everything is. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot different than if... It'd be different if we were, like, deep into these movies, like Star Wars, and all of a sudden they just took what a character was doing and just, like, 180'd. Like, that's understandable. This is like a reboot, you know what I mean? Like, let it be what it's gonna be. Let me tell you something, too. Sub-Zero, for the first half of this movie, is a bad man. I mean, he's got the powers of Batman and all. I mean, he's just all over. You know what I mean? Like, what I mean powers? I mean, like, he just pops up everywhere. Like, he's just like, oh, he's just teleporting everywhere. He's here. He's there. He's in the shadow. Like, oh my god. Like, Sub-Zero is a bad man. So, I actually do kind of like the Sub-Zero costume now that I look at it more. I don't think I think Scorpion's is too bulky. Like, it's like just super huge in the chest plate and stuff. So is Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung is kind of funny, in my opinion, costume wise. So let's just get into it. We'll go into spoilers now. But my actual feeling is that, hey, I heard Mortal Kombat's coming out. I watched Mortal Kombat. What to walk away with this Mortal Kombat movie thing? I'm thinking like a 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. Because really, you're going in to watch the people fight. You know what I mean? Like, we want to see some fight, some brutality. You know what I mean? Some of that flair, that 90s flair. And I think it's got some of it. Some of the characters are lackluster compared to what they could have been. Some casting's kind of weird. Some choices, story-wise, it's definitely weird. Because I think, in my opinion, I mean, I just don't care, right? I just don't really care that much about the new character enough. Like, I think the first part of the movie he did fine, but as soon as they got together and started training, it felt like he was, like, not that big of a deal anymore. Like, I don't know. And then he gets his own kind of power. He's a totally unique character, I believe. But I will say this. The director, whoever made this, well, not just director, but there's plenty of other people that probably involved this. There's so many little nuggets of, like, knowledge and, like, lore and all kinds of things that are tossed in. Like, when Jax talks to him about beating the person, take the belt from him, it was, talk about, I think it said, like, Edward Tobias or something like that, which is one of the creators of Mortal Kombat, Ed Tobias. We saw Kotal Khan, we saw Nightwolf, who else? There's there's a lot more things, like, spoiler alert, like, it looks like Noob Saibot will be the next one. Bihan will be coming back as Noob. I'm like, he almost looked like Noob, really, once, Scorpion and, I can't remember the guy's name, Cole, was that his name? Cole? See, that's like, I don't remember the dude's name. Cole and Scorpion beat his ass, and like he took his armor off, and like he kind of looked like Noob. Like he's way slimmer and sleeker, and he is just like all black, you know. I was like, ooh, they gonna do Noob Saibot? Ooh, and then all of a sudden at the very end they suck him away. I'm like, ooh. Another thing, man, Goro went down like a bitch. Like Goro got pieced up by this Cole kid, and I mean, if he's like the prophesized hero, like Liu Kang used to be, right? I guess in a way. But it's like a new take on it because Scorpion's like one of the most popular characters, let's just face it. And so they kind of like base this around Scorpion's lineage. It's kind of cool. And the kid summoning Scorpion back and from hell and whatnot at the end. That's not that bad. I mean, that's fine. But I just feel like it got real muddy at the end. Towards the end, I was just like, all right, we fought and now we got away. And now we're going to fight again. Now we got away and now we're going to fight again. Like, I'm just like, it kind of happened like really sporadically happening like towards the end. I would say like not Scorpion, Raiden's voice actor or his the actor, like he's in other films, like he's in the Thor movies. I kind of feel like, man, I'm like, hey man, I understand this like other audiences for this, but like your enunciation on these words is like pretty bad. I'm not really sure what Raiden is saying like half the time. I was like, I need some context clues, you know what I mean? So that's where I was. I was like, ooh, I don't know, bro. Like, what's he saying? What's this man saying? What's he trying to get across here? So, the story-wise, It was fine. I was totally fine with most of it till about halfway through. Kano, like I said, comedic relief, really good. I think Cabal is in this. We got Melina. Melina's a little strange. They do eventually have her like split her mouth open more, which, you know, it's because like you see her for like the whole movie, she's just got red, like just stuff all over. And I guess, I don't know, it's kind of like being ripped so much, you know what I mean? Like when she does that and eating people. I didn't really have that big of a problem with Melina. I mean, besides the fact of like how many characters died in this movie, which they may all come back, who knows? But I can't remember what's that chick's name. Was it Katara? I can't remember I really can't remember the vampire chick. She was only in like one game, right? But you know what I mean? Like she randomly makes an appearance, and like Shang Tsung kind of makes like a hoop blah about her, like how beautiful she is and all this and that. And it was like, okay. And there was like this really drawn out moment where she's fighting Kung Lao. She's like flying around, screeching, and then he like stands there. It's like, I swore she was gonna swoop in 3 different times. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, hey man, this scene's taking forever. Like, can we just get this on? Like, I get it. Like, anyways, so Kung Lao does his thing to her, which is pretty badass. He fucking does the horrible fatality with the thing spinning and just sliding on her face, cutting her in half. Like that was honestly the roughest in the movie. There wasn't too many like big fatalities. I mean, I think like Kano gets one, Scorpion gets one, Kung Lao gets one. I guess technically Shang, I guess, would get one technically. But yeah. Oh well, I guess so does Liu Kang. Never mind. There's like 4 or 5 in the movie. Actually, I'm just thinking wrong. I'm trying to get it all. I don't got any of this written down. So let's see. Beginning of the movie, pretty cool. With Hanzo and Bihan. My wife actually didn't realize that was their stories, and she asked me, "Was this a real story?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty close to what it was in the games. Like, pretty daggum close." She also, you know, she had to figure out who some of these characters were. They're like, but she did. She figured it out on her own just from seeing the games and stuff. Liu Kang, I felt like really weird. Like Liu Kang was too small at first, and there's like one scene where he's actually like got his gi off, and like the dude is shredded. Like he's shredded, just like lean and ripped. I feel like I don't know, it was a little bit too much, you know, of his spirituality. Like I felt like there's other, like, not that there's too much, because that is what the character is, but I mean, like, hey, they kind of just lay it on really heavy. Like, hey, like all of a sudden Liu Kang's here. Liu Kang has a whole bunch of lines, like a whole bunch. And then after that, he kind of don't talk that much. You know, he don't really do much. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you just split it up, cut it up a little different, like have other people talk a little bit more in the middle. Kano talks throughout all of it. Like, Kano's throwing quips and stuff throughout the whole thing, which might be why I like the character in this movie. I don't know. He's a scumbag. Which, I mean, yeah, that's the thing, is like, in my mind, I am slightly judgmental against castings, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't like Kano. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like Kano, but the dude played Kano really well. So that's just my knee-jerk reactions and stuff. I'm like, ugh, this can't be this. I thought Gal Gadot couldn't be Wonder Woman. I was wrong. Gal Gadot's a really good Wonder Woman. So that's just me and my knee-jerk reactions to castings. But overall, I think I was happy with this being a beginning point. Sorry, that's hard to say. Being a beginning point. And I mean, I hope they do more. I do. Hopefully we can get a little bit more of a coherent story, and not have that weird point where it's like I said, I think the first half of the film is fine, and then like the next 25% is kind of like okay, and then the last 25 is just like, okay, I kind of got lost in a way. Like, I mean, we're just fighting, you know what I mean? But it's like, it feels like we're teleporting to each other, fighting. We just got done fighting. We go one place to do one thing. It feels like in the span of like 15 minutes, everyone fights each other multiple rounds, right? So that part of it, I kind of just got muddled for me. But I mean, it just turned the brain off and watch people fight, really, essentially. But that's just where it could get a little bit better, in my opinion, for a Mortal Kombat movie, not for just movies in general. This is a Mortal Kombat movie. I'm just keeping its own little realm there. Because like I said, if you're expecting anything just Oscar worthy, that's not what this movie is meant for at all. So yeah. So we had Liu Kang, Kung Lao. Kung Lao was okay. Kung Lao's dead though. He's dead. Rest in peace. Raiden, I don't know about Raiden. I don't know about Raiden's casting. Shang Tsung's chest plate looked weird. He just kind of looked weird in general. But I mean, it's Shang Tsung. I don't really have the bigger problem. Didn't do that much. Cabal's costume was awesome. They had General Reiko in here, which was kind of. Definitely didn't expect that character to be in there. We had Melina, we had Jax, we had Kano, Cole, which is the new character. We had hints, like I said, to like Kotal Khan, not Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, multiple to Shao Kahn, Night Wolf, and at the very end we had where they said they're gonna go find more warriors. Johnny Cage. I almost said Jackie Cage. Johnny Cage is the last person that Cole's going to go see in Hollywood. So that's how the film ends. And it ends with the theme song, the Mortal Kombat theme song. I think they do play it one time in the movie. So overall, I mean, I was happy. I was happy with it. I mean, I'd probably watch it again. I'd be willing to watch it again just for spectacle, you know what I mean? It's not like one I'd watch like a whole lot more times because it's like I get it now, you know what I mean? But it's like if I ever got into the mood, it's like I think it's a great homage to the first one, the first movie they ever made. So that's the way I feel, guys. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. I know I rambled quite a bit. It's been a while since I've done a review like this, so it's like trying to wrap everything in my mind, everything I want to get out, and go make sure I did all the things. I don't know. You tell me. You like stuff scripted more or not? That's the way I need to know going forward. If you want it totally scripted, we script it. If not, I can just go off the cuff like I am here, shooting from the hip. So thank you guys for watching so much, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.